the sun shine in today. I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. And I will leave my...
Hello, welcome to the video tutorial for the Forever and Always crochet sweater. For this project, you will be needing an 8mm crochet hook, some stitch markers, probably about 5 of them, a tapestry needle, scissors, and then 3 to 4 skeins of number 4 medium weight yarn. You can use any number 4 medium weight yarn. You would definitely want to be using something that's nice and soft. This is Touch of Alpaca. I've also made this sweater using the Feels Like Butter yarn from the Lion brand. But any yarn that's just nice and soft so that the sweater drapes properly. A cheap acrylic yarn is probably not going to give you the desired outcome that you're looking for this sweater. But otherwise, any number 4 medium weight yarn, and you will be needing anywhere between 600 and 800 yards for your sweater, depending on your size. Before you get started on your sweater, to ensure proper sizing, you're going to want to make yourself a gauge swatch. And so 10 stitches across and 8 rows should give you a 4x4 square. And that's really important so you can get proper fitting. Okay, so to begin your Forever and Always sweater, we are going to be making a half double crochet foundation chain. I like to go ahead when I start to leave myself arm's length of yarn. That way I can just use that to sew my sleeve at the end. You're going to begin by chaining 2, yarn over, go back into that first chain that you made, pull up a loop. This is your foundation chain. This is like your foundation chain. And then you're going to yarn over, pull through 1, as if you're starting your half double crochet, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. And you have your first half double crochet. My baby just woke up, so I will be right back to continue this. Okay, we have our first half double crochet in our foundation chain. To do the second one, you're just going to come right back into that first loop you made, go through both of those, go through that whole stitch there, pull up a loop. There's your foundation chain, yarn over, pull through 1 to begin your half double crochet, yarn over, pull through all through 3 to complete. I'll demonstrate this one more time, and then you will just continue to work your foundation chain up until you reach your number of stitches you need. So yarn over, go through these 2 loops on the bottom, your foundation chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through all 3. And you're just going to continue and do foundation half double crochets until you reach your appropriate number of stitches. Mine measures 34 inches, it's 153, so I'm going to do 153 stitches for my foundation chain, and I will meet you back here once my foundation chain is completed. Okay, so once you have your foundation chain with the number of half double crochets that you need, then you're just going to chain 1 and turn, and then you're simply going to work a half double crochet into every stitch across, and you're going to repeat this until you reach the number of rows to get up to the measurement of your upper arm length that you got. For me, it's 11 inches. At the end of each row, simply chain 1 and turn. So you'll do a half double crochet all the way across, chain 1 and turn, and work however many number of rows you need to reach your upper arm length. So for me, with my upper arm length, it measures 11 inches. And so I believe this will be about, I think it's 23 or 24 rows. And I will just continue to work this until my main panel is 11 inches in height. And so you will just continue to work half double crochet rows, chain one and turn until your main sweater panel reaches that length of the measurement you got for measuring your upper arm. And I will see you back here at the end of making our main panel. When you do finish your main panel, all you need to do is fasten off, and I'll see you when we get there. All right, so once you have your panel done, if you end up with an even number of rows, you won't be able to do this little trick of mine to leave yourself the nice long strap at the beginning and then also leaving one at the end so you don't actually have to add in, which is fine. You'll just, use a separate piece of yarn. We have taken our arm measurement and multiplied by 2 to get our sleeve. That just makes it the exact same size as our arm when we multiply by 2. So you're going to want to add anywhere from 2 to 4 stitches. And so for me, my arm measures 11 inches. That's 22 stitches. So I will count up 22 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then I need to add anywhere from 2 to 4 stitches just so that I give my arm some wiggle room to get in there. And so I'm going to go up to 24. I'm going to start at 26 because I think an additional 4 stitches is going to be what will fit the best. And so we just want to get our little string, or you can use a stitch marker, something to get you up to whatever your arm measurement times 2 is, and then add about 4 stitches. You probably don't want to go anywhere over 4, but mark it. Mark that. I have mine marked at 26 stitches, and now I'm going to slide it over my arm just as a test. So once you have your stitches marked, go ahead and slide your arm up in there and just make sure your arm easily gets in. You do want to have a little bit of wiggle room. Your sleeve might do a little bit of sliding, but that is okay. You just don't want it so loose that it is going to completely fall off. And I think I am going to go ahead and go in one more stitch and just go to 25. Yeah, that should give me snug enough. You want, right now, just holding it on, I do have, you can see just a little bit, about an inch of kind of wiggle room. Once that's sewn all the way down, it'll snug up a bit. So I'm going to go to 25 stitches. It's 3 over. And you are just going to want to kind of gauge to make it snug enough that it's not going to slide right off your arm, but loose enough that you can easily get your arm on. You don't want your sleeve to be super tight either. So you just want to go anywhere from 2 to 4 stitches beyond the doubled arm measurement. So my arm was 11 inches, went up to 22 stitches. I have added an additional 3 to go up to 25. So based on whatever your arm measurement is, just add anywhere from 2 to 4 stitches and then make sure your arm fits in there. And then we're going to sew this down. So before you begin sewing down, you're just going to want to go to your opposite end and then count in the same number of stitches. And then go ahead and place a stitch marker to connect to the other end. That way you know where you're working to. So I'm just going to get this lined up straight so that I make sure I'm working along that 25th stitch all the way down on all my rows. And then just take a tapestry needle. Good ones are downstairs and the baby's down there. So I'm just going to use this plastic one. I like to begin by making a little slip knot at the top, and then we are going to begin doing a blanket stitch all the way down. So on each row, at the base of each row, you're going to put your needle through, and then to do a blanket stitch, you just want to make sure you're catching this loop so that it grabs itself. And then just continue that all the way down your sleeve. Make sure that it's, so you just want to make sure you're catching your loop, and then give it a little pull to snug it. And just continue that all the way down your sleeve at the base of each row. And then once you get down to your stitch marker, you can remove that. And then I'm going to do one more little slip knot here at the end, just kind of secure it before we weave in our tail here. Now I'm just going to double check and test. See, so now that it's, even though it was kind of loose, now that I have it sewn all the way down, it slides onto my arm just nice and snug to where it's not too tight, but see, it's not falling down. As I move around, there might be a little bit of sliding, but it's not just going to fall right off, and it's not too tight where I struggle to get my arm in. So that was perfect for me to add 3 stitches. I imagine most of you will be adding about 3 stitches to make it perfect, but anywhere from 2 to 4 should be good. And then we're just going to repeat that on the other side. You just want to make sure when you do the other side that you are folding into the same side so that your seams end up on the same side. You don't want one folded in this way and then the other one, folded backwards that way. You want both your seams facing the same direction, and they will be facing the front of the sweater. So I'm going to repeat the exact same thing for your second sleeve, and I will meet you back here to show you the next step. Okay, so after your sleeves are sewn, this is where it gets really fun. This is when our sweater all comes together. And so we want to make sure that our foundation chain is on the bottom. So make sure you have your foundation chain on the bottom, and then slide your sleeves on, making sure that you have the seams facing the front for your sleeves. Okay? And then go ahead and slide your sleeves on. And then you're going to grab the rest of your sweater and pull it around you. A little bit snug. So just give it a nice pull. Reach to your back. Hopefully you're flexible enough. Otherwise you'll have to have somebody help you. And then get a hold of these stitches wherever you meet yourself in the back. Okay? And so I have my stitches marked from where I was in my back. And now we are just going to count the number of stitches between our fingers, okay? So count from one finger to the other. You can go ahead and place a stitch marker or something like that if you want. We don't have to worry about it being centered just quite yet. We're just going to count how many stitches we have. So for me, that's from finger to finger. We go ahead and count the stitch that you're in because that's where you will connect, okay? So for me, that's 60 stitches. So I'm going to go ahead and clip them together. It's probably not centered though. And slide this off. And this is where we want to center our 60 stitches, or if you get 64 or 70 or whatever number you get, then this is where we want to then count the number of stitches between that and our sleeve and then get it re-centered. Okay, so for my sleeve, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I have 24 on this one. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 between this one. So I just need to get it centered. If I have 24 on one, 20 on the other, I need to adjust by 2 stitches. So I'm going to go 2 stitches further on my shorter one. And then on my longer one, I'm going to reduce it by 2 stitches. And then I'm going to recount and double check. So replace my stitch marker. And now we're just going to double check and count that we are even between our stitch markers here. So I got 22 between that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right, so now I have 22 stitches between each of my sleeves and where my bodice will connect. So I'm ready to go to the next step. Once you center your bodice and have the same number of stitches between each sleeve, then you're going to insert your hook into the stitch with your stitch marker and make sure you're working in the right direction. We are working towards the little V, so if you're right-handed, you'll probably be coming up on this other side. I always crochet my hair into sweaters and into my projects. All right, we're going to leave a nice little tail when we attach, because we're going to do a little bit of sewing here at the end just to reinforce the bottom of this row after we are finished with everything. So just put your hook through, pull up a loop, chain 1, go back through, do a half double crochet. And now I had 60 stitches, so I'm going to do 60 half double crochets all the way around for this first round of the bodice. And when I finish this round, I'll meet you right back here, because we are going to then begin working in the round instead of in rows. So 1 half double crochet all the way around till you reach the other end with your stitch marker, and I'll meet you right back here to explain the next step. Okay, once you have come to your stitch marker on the other side, go ahead and work a half double crochet in there, remove your stitch marker, and now we will begin working in the round. So we are going to slip stitch into that first half double crochet, chain 1 and turn, and then just work 1 half double crochet back into that very same stitch that you slip stitched into, and work 1 half double crochet into every stitch around. So for me, I have 60 half double crochets all the way around, and you will continue doing your rounds, slip stitch at the end, chain 1 and turn, and continue working your bodice in the round until you reach your measurement. For me, it's 15 inches. Okay, so I have 11 inches here. I'm going to work on an additional 4 inches. This is probably going to be about 8 rounds. And I will meet you back here at the end of working my bodice rounds. Okay, so I have worked up 10 rows. And now I'm at my 15 inches for my total length. So I can go ahead and fasten off. And I will show you how to just finish off your sweater here. your end that you have just fastened off, you just need to weave in your end as you would any other end. And then this other side where I told you to leave a tail when you first joined in the round, we're going to take that. Ignore my daughter's toy mess beyond my table, please. So we're going to take this and we are just going to connect the base of this round right here, because you can see how it pulls and you get this stretching, and so we want to avoid that a little bit. So we're just going to work into the base of this round, and so I like to go a couple stitches over and pull the base of this round together, and then we're going to go back and forth a couple times just to really secure this together so that you don't get that pulling. So I go back and forth about 3 times. Don't pull it too tight. And then I'm just going to do one final little slip knot here. Make sure it's nice and secure. And then I will weave this through and cut my end. Sorry if that fell off the screen there. You should be able to understand that. So now we're done. I'm going to put this on over my tank top. We'll show you. So I had some testers that were like, okay, now how do I put it on? And the same thing happened to me. So this is the top where it splits in the back. That's like where you're going to slide yourself right into it. Lift it on like this. The top kind of folds down. And then grab your sleeves. Slide your sleeves on. And voila, there you go. Just like Shania Twain. Woo!
Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the light. Oh, and I'll try to spread my wings so I can fly.
Thank you so much for crocheting the Always and Forever sweater with me. And if you wanted this to come past your belly button, if you want less of a crop top, you can continue to do extra rounds and make your bodice longer. So, because you do want it to fold over at the top. But if I take away my fold, you know, then I could get this to come all the way to cover my belly so it's not so croppy. So you can do that. You could continue your bodice up an additional 4 rounds or so from the belly button measurement, and then you would have yourself, a less croppy sweater. But if you like the crop top look, then just measure to your belly button, and there you go. God bless you. Thank you. Have a fabulous day.
Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day.